Tonight, we salute the 10 outstanding individuals and sports legends selected for the 2024-2025 class of the Dallas ISD Athletic Hall of Fame. Their talent, grit, and character fueled their exploits in high school, the pro ranks, and wherever life has taken them. We're honored to celebrate these heroes, living and deceased. Audience, if you would, please stand and applaud them. Or applaud them. I know if people are still eating. Thank you very much. It is especially fitting that we honor these sports legends who serve as outstanding role models for the next generation of student athletes. As our young people chase their dreams, we hope they draw inspiration from our honorees, competing with integrity, making ethical choices, and whenever they win or lose, always demonstrating dignity and character. It is my honor to introduce two exceptional leaders who play a pivotal role in guiding the Dallas Independent School District. These dedicated individuals make and support the crucial decisions that shape Dallas ISD, paving the way for bright futures for the district's 140,000 plus students. Maxie Johnson is the second vice president of the district's 9-member board of trustees. He and his colleagues serve countless hours without compensation, setting policy, listening to constituents, questioning and advising the district leadership on crucial decisions. Trustee Johnson will be followed by Dr. Brian Lusk, whose vision and dedication steer the daily operations of Dallas ISD, the largest employer in Dallas County, and a vital force shaping and protecting the city's future. We sincerely appreciate both of these dedicated public servants for their support of the Dallas ISD Athletic Hall of Fame and for joining us tonight to celebrate our esteemed inductees. And now please welcome Maxie Johnson, who will be followed by Deputy Superintendent for Academics and Transformation, Dr. Brian Lusk.
Good afternoon. Let's do that again. Good afternoon. It is an honor to be here to celebrate you tonight as a former Dallas ISD baseball and football coach. I know the work that we put in, you put in. You are not only coaches, but some are fathers, some are uncles, some are mentors to our young people, and we thank you for all that you've done. Also glad to be the trustee of the two-time 5A Division II champion South Oak Cliff High School UIL football team. So excited to be here. Recognizing the Dallas ISD Athletic Hall of Fame inductees has become one of the great privileges and traditions of the Board of Trustees. Each member of the Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2025 has created a legacy that continues to shine a light on Dallas ISD athletic programs that have produced championship teams and built lifelong relationships. To be chosen for this honor, each of you has displayed the highest standard of good citizenship, character, sportsmanship, and ethical conduct. All of you which make you role models for the young athletes who come behind you. They truly stand on your shoulders. You've helped the world see what a powerhouse of athletic talent we have right here in Dallas ISD. We applaud you for making a difference in sports and in life. Congratulations to you all for not only being incredible athletes, coaches, and contributors, but for being mentors and leaders in your communities. On behalf of the Dallas ISD Board of Trustees, it is an honor to recognize the newest members of the Athletic Hall of Fame, the class of 2025. Finally, thank you to the Dallas ISD Athletic Department for organizing the wonderful celebration to honor the members of the Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2025. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Brian Lusk. I'm Deputy Superintendent at Dallas ISD. I do want to take a moment to recognize other trustees we have here this evening. So to my left, Trustee Ed Turner, please stand and be recognized. Trustee Camille White. We do appreciate all of you and the support that you provide for us. And I want to say welcome to all of our distinguished guests this evening. And one in particular, I'm going to take the privilege of having the microphone and say to Ms. Shirley Isom Newsom, it's always a pleasure to have you in the room. Please stand to be recognized. If you know Ms. Newsom, you know she's had a significant impact in Dallas ISD, and she continues to do that even from a little bit of a distance, so we appreciate her. You know, this evening as I transitioned from work to prepare to come here, I had the television on, and what was on today? The Masters, that's right. And I thought to myself, it's pretty amazing. We have so many phenomenal athletes in Dallas ISD, and even one who's been in the Masters. And so I thought to myself, like, this is pretty powerful. The most prominent golf tournament that we know of is happening today, and we're having a celebration to recognize somebody who's actually been in there. Many big names tonight, many proud families, as you should be, for this befitting event, the Dallas ISD Hall of Fame. My sincerest congratulations to all of you, and we'll obviously take that privilege here in a little while to recognize everybody. But I also have self-awareness. I know you're not here to hear me, so I'll be quick. I'll be brief. I do want to make one point, though, before we get started. And then I'll end with the two words you want to hear in conclusion. Donna Ramsey, raise your hand. Donna Ramsey. There is a reason I point out Donna Ramsey. Donna Ramsey was the first female athletic trainer in Dallas ISD. And for all you folks be recognized tonight, and people like me who thinks he's an athlete, you have all those aches and pains. Donna's your person. She'll take care of you. No, but all seriousness, we have half of our inductees tonight are NFL Hall of Famers. And we know what comes with that, right? They give up a lot to be in that spotlight and do the great work for our teams and entertain us, the commitment. And we also know what it takes from other people, such as the work that Donna Ramsey did. So, Donna, we really appreciate you, and we're excited that you're being recognized this evening. So, if you get a little bit of a sore knee, you think you need a little bit of help, even if you aren't an athlete, see her later. No, I'm just kidding. But I do want to conclude by saying this. You know, there are so many great inductees this evening, and we've had so many in the past. This is such an honorable event, and we're so glad to have everybody here tonight to celebrate this really momentous occasion. So please, as you're recognized tonight, please take it in, please enjoy it, please cherish it, because we really hope this evening is such an amazing night for you and for your families. And so with that, I say the two words you want in conclusion: thank you and enjoy.
Once again, thank you to the leaders of Dallas ISD for joining us tonight and for their tireless service to all of us. Now, we would like to recognize a previous Hall of Fame inductee who is in attendance tonight. Please give a warm round of applause to J.D. Mayo, the former basketball coach at Skyline High School, who was inducted into the Dallas ISD Athletic Hall of Fame in 2019. If there are other members of the Dallas ISD Hall of Fame in attendance tonight, please stand and be recognized. And please join me in a round of applause for these Dallas legends. Now, we move into the moment we've all been waiting for, the exciting recognition of the 10 sports legends selected for this year's Hall of Fame class. This year's Hall of Fame class includes a two-time UIL state champion hurdler and the 2010 Dallas Morning News Track and Field Athlete of the Year, a three-time Football Player of the Year and 6-year NFL veteran with 3 different teams, a former high school football player turned head coach at his alma mater and a longtime University of Texas assistant coach, a 16-time professional golf champion and inductee into both the Texas Golf and World Golf Halls of Fame, a 2-time All-District linebacker at Skyline High School, college national champion and 8-year NFL veteran, an acclaimed announcer whose voice was heard at the 1996 Olympics, 3 Super Bowls, and dozens of major national events. A 30-year coach of girls athletics who guided teams in track and field, cross country, volleyball, and basketball. A pioneering athletic trainer, the first female in Dallas ISD history, and the first woman to serve as a full-time trainer in a U.S. urban district. A 4-time Grey Cup champion in the Canadian Football League and 1959 Grey Cup Most Valuable Player, and a Dallas ISD salutatorian, 7-time NFL Pro Bowl selection, and member of the NFL 1990s All-Decade Team. Tonight, we celebrate individuals who have already made history on the field, in their communities, and in life. Their accomplishments have inspired generations, and now they're breaking barriers once again, forging new paths and setting new standards. It is truly an absolute honor to stand here tonight and witness this moment. Their impact extends far beyond their chosen sports, shaping the future for those who follow. So, we will not wait another further. Let's meet tonight's extraordinary honorees. We start tonight with Lauren Blackburn, a 2010 graduate of Sunset High School. 2-time team captain and UIL state champion in the 100-meter hurdles. Posted a personal best wind legal time of 13.39 seconds in high school, the fastest time in the nation that year. Ranked 4th nationally in the 300-meter hurdles. Named to the USA Today Girls High School Track and Field team in both 2009 and 2010. Selected as the Dallas Morning News Girls Track and Field Athlete of the Year in 2010. Continued her track career at the University of Southern California, where she won the 100-meter hurdles at the 2014 Pac-12 Outdoor Championships. Claimed victories at 2 of the most prestigious meets in the nation, the Mount Sac Relays and Texas Relays in 2011. Today, Lauren brings her energy and excellence to the skies as a flight attendant for Southwest Airlines. For more about Lauren Blackburn, please turn your eyes toward the screens.
I've grown up in Dallas ISD. I actually got involved in track and field when I was 4. 4 is the youngest that you can get started in those kind of things. It just came so natural to me. It felt like I had a lot of energy growing up, and that was like the one thing I could focus all of my energy into. And being an only child for so long, I was so used to being like on my own, and having like a team around me, and the camaraderie felt really awesome, and it was something that I didn't really get until later in like middle school and high school years. I'm very competitive, and I always want to beat like my previous best times. So that's like something about the sport. It is individualistic, so you have to always want to better yourself in those kind of things. So I was shooting for, like the state record, and that was just one of the like bucket list accomplishments that I wanted to achieve, and it felt amazing. And just being able to bring that to Sunset, who hadn't had a state championship in like quite a long time, it was very rewarding. Going to USC, the first couple years, it was an adjustment just because coming from such a small team to such a large team, and like finding myself there was an adjustment for sure, but I loved it. My latter years, my junior and senior year, we had another coaching change, and it was harder. She was rough on us, and I thrived in it. I love being under pressure and like having such expectations so I can rise to those, and it was fun. I just want to spark hope in people, and like Sunset hadn't had a state championship in, I think it was like 50 years, and just because like you don't see like the things laid out in front of you or somebody hasn't done it in your tenure of you being there, like doesn't mean that it's not possible. Like you can definitely do it if you put your mind to it.
Good evening, everyone. I'm deeply honored to stand before you as an inductee to the ISD Athletic Hall of Fame. This recognition is a reflection of the unwavering support and encouragement I have received from so many people throughout my life. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my parents. Your love, sacrifices, and belief in me have been the foundation of my success. From long days in the summer heat to cross-country trips, you are deeply appreciated. To Francis Baldwin, whose daughter spotted me on the playground, sparked my love for the sport. He mentored me and gave me every tool I needed to succeed. He instilled the importance of perseverance and resilience. I love you and thank you. To Coach King, thank you for your guidance and wisdom in our years together, and thank you for the nomination. The moment we met, we felt like family, and family is forever. Lastly, I'd like to thank Todd Lamb and the selection committee for this incredible honor. I am truly humbled to be recognized among such esteemed athletes and coaches. I am deeply grateful and will cherish this honor forever. Thank you.
Next, we honor Jerry Broadnax, who graduated from L.G. Pinkston Senior High School in 1969. He excelled in football at Pinkston and continued his success at Southern University. Also competed in track and field at Southern, earning the title of SWAC Discus Champion. Played in the National Football League with the New England Patriots, Houston Oilers, and Green Bay Packers. After retiring from football, he gave back to the West Dallas community as a dedicated mentor to youth. Honored with inductions into the L.G. Pinkston Hall of Fame, the Southern University Hall of Fame, and the Texas Black Sports Hall of Fame. Let's learn more about Jerry Broadnax. Please turn your attention to the screens.
Jerry Broadnax graduated with honors from Dr. L.G. Pinkston High School in 1969. Jerry was a three-time Outstanding Player of the Year on the football team, collecting honors in 1967, 1968, and 1969. Overcoming challenges of being raised by a single mother, he went on to attend Southern University, where he was a tight end on the football team and was a member of the track and field team. He won the Southwestern Athletic Conference Discus event in 1972. Jerry was named an Outstanding College Athlete of America in 1972 and 1973. Following his final year of college, Jerry found a way into the preseason camp of the New England Patriots that fall. He played one season with the Houston Oilers in 1974, and then after one season with the Chicago Wind of the World Football League, earned a spot in preseason camp with the Green Bay Packers in 1976. Following his playing days, Jerry, a man of high moral character, integrity, and a humanitarian, mentored youth in West Dallas and at Pinkston High School by donating his time and money to leave his mark in the community. Jerry died in 2020, 1 month shy of his 69th birthday.
His sister, Sherry Perkins, is in the audience tonight, but accepting the award on behalf of the family is Jerry's nephew, Shamron Turner.
Good evening, everyone. As you can see, my uncle was a mentor for the family. He was a mentor for a lot of kids in DISD. In one of those pictures, you can see he was at all of my track meets. I ran at Texas Tech in Auburn, and that picture was at Auburn. And he always coached me and my sister, and we started at 7 and 6. And he always instilled in us hard work, dedication, and how to grow up and be a man and be a woman. We are here to celebrate him. If he was here, he would truly be smiling from ear to ear. If you never got a chance to meet him, he was a great man. And if you did, you surely remember him. He loved his family. He loved the youth and everybody. He always was dragging me as a kid. If I wasn't working out, I was running down the school hallways as he was going from school to school, being the liaison for the city. But my uncle really, really, really loves family, people, and youth, and he dedicated his all to youth and family. He also started summer track clubs where myself and I had to drag all my friends in to run as well. And he sent some of those to the Olympics and to the NFL based off his dedication. But today, as we celebrate my uncle, I really appreciate this honor. I am grateful and honored to accept this on his behalf, and God bless.
Our next inductee is Bruce Chambers, a 1976 graduate of David W. Carter High School. Played football for the Carter Cowboys and continued as a wide receiver at the University of North Texas. Returned to Carter in 1984 as a teacher and coach, starting with the freshman and junior varsity football teams. Became varsity assistant coach in 1989 and later head coach and campus athletic coordinator in 1996. During his coaching tenure at Carter, the team reached the state playoffs every year, and they won 13 district titles and 4 regional titles. As head coach, he compiled an 18-6 record and won 2 district championships. In 1998, he joined Mack Brown's staff at the University of Texas, coaching running backs and tight ends. He coached legendary athletes like Heisman Trophy winner Ricky Williams, Hodges Mitchell, and Cedric Benson. He currently serves as an assistant athletic director for Arlington ISD. Please turn your eyes toward the screens to learn more about Bruce Chambers.
When I was at Carter, I went both ways. I played offense and defense. Coach James was defensive coordinator, so I played defensive back for him. And then on offense, I played wing back and tailback. I was relentless, undersized, but very fast, very quick. Really didn't apply myself, but I was able just to do the work and get B's, get A's, and mostly B's, and that was fine, with me. And then, of course, when I got to college, I realized that it was a little bit more challenging. At the time, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I did say to him, hey, Coach, if I want to coach, would you hire me? And Coach James said that I sure would. After I got my certification, got hired, went out to Carter, and as I say, the rest is history. I watched how Coach James was so charismatic. He was just a kid mad. And I said that, you know what, I'm going to model my coaching after him. Making the decision to leave Carter High School up until that point was the hardest decision I ever had to make in my life. It's kind of a bittersweet situation for me was that I was only there for 2 years as head coach. And it literally brought me to tears. Because I loved Carter High School. Because I loved it as a student. I loved it as a player. I loved it as a teacher. And now I'm loving it as a coach. But then I realized that this is part of growing up. This is part of being a man. This is part of career choices. And then, of course, went to Austin. And my role now, I coach coaches. And so it was just kind of one of those things. Obviously, it was God. It was His plan. And I think God puts you in places where, He wants you to be. The guys that I grew up watching, they're inducted into this Hall of Fame. And to be inducted with them, that is just so special. That is amazing.
Please, everyone, welcome Bruce Chambers to the stage.
First of all, I want to say, giving all praises to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, it is indeed an honor for me to be here today.
To the Hall of Fame Selection Committee, you know, as I stated in the piece, growing up in Dallas, one of the things that I always used to do when I went into the field houses is I looked at those pictures that was on the wall. And those pictures were a lot of players that I grew up idolizing. And I think that is an amazing, whosever idea that was, that's an amazing idea to continue to keep those pictures up there so that youngsters can look and see those athletes that have gone on before. A lot of those guys grew up in my neighborhood. And as a elementary school, junior high schooler, I used to watch them. And wow, so to the committee, I am just so humbled. Thank you so much. To tonight's inductees, it is indeed an honor and a privilege for me to be just mentioned with you guys. Again, I've watched several of you as you were athletes in DISD, and then obviously in the pros, and it is just amazing for me to even be on the stage with you all. Thank you so much. And to my wife, Kathy, of 35 years, you know, there are a bunch of coaches out here tonight, and you all know that I've always believed that a coach's wife is really special. She has to be special because she has to put up with fans that are, and they call them fans for a reason, in the stands saying things about your husband and your wife, if your wife is a coach, how they can't coach and don't know what they're doing and who called that play. And for my wife to have to endure that, and I used to tell her, you know, they pay their money. So if they pay their money, they can say what they want to say. And I remember her saying to me when we were down in Shreveport, Carter was playing Evangel Christian Academy, and I don't know which one of the athletic directors scheduled that. I know I didn't have anything to do with that. But anyway, as they beat our brains out, one of my kids' fathers was talking about how I couldn't coach, and he just couldn't wait until the game was over with. He really had some choice words for me, and I remember my wife walked up to me and said, "Honey, you know, this man was saying that he wanted to put his hands on you. Do you think he was telling the truth?" And I said, "Honey, and that, you know, obviously they pay their money; they can say what they want to say." But thank you so much, Kathy. I mean, I've drug you to Austin, Texas for 17 years, and you have just been a trooper. Thank you. To my mom and dad. I thank God so much that I still have my parents. My mom's 89, my dad's 85, and I am truly, truly blessed to have them. And Mom, Dad, thank you so much for, as I grew up, you instilled good character in me and my brother. You instilled about doing the right things and doing those things when nobody was looking. Do the right things. My mom and dad, education was really important to them, and couldn't bring a lot of C's to the house. I remember my first year in college, I made a D, and I remember my mom got on the phone and called Hayden Fry, and she told him that if he brings another D to this house, he's gonna get a job because he's wasting his time, he's wasting your time, and he's wasting my time. Coach Fry said, "Hoss, do you think she's serious?" I said, "There's a heart attack." Thank you, Mom and Dad. Coach James, Coach Freddie James, I had the privilege and the honor of playing for him. But even more importantly, I had the privilege and the honor of coaching with him. And I learned so many things. Coach James modeled in front of me as a young coach how to treat kids.
he was one of those, Coach James said something that has always stayed with me, and that one thing was that, Coach, they all can do something. And that's why we carried 88, 89 players on our varsity, but they all played. They all played. And he said, Coach, I do not want to hear a parent come and talk to me about a kid not playing. So we had to be creative because we had so many of them. But I learned how to be an effective coach and an effective communicator with kids by modeling what I saw with Coach James. And then what I saw not only as a coach, but I saw as a man and I saw as a husband for a young coach being single. And I tell you, that went so far with me, and thank you so much, Coach James. You know, I've always believed that behind every successful school, every successful athletic program, every successful band, there's a successful principal. I had the pleasure to work for two great principals, Joseph Brew and Shirley Newsom. Yeah, I can applaud them, absolutely. Mr. Brew, he hired a young coach that had no head coaching experience, and he gave him the keys to the best athletic program in DISD. And that took a lot of courage. That took a lot of trust. And he saw something in me that probably at that time I didn't even see in myself. And I tell you what, it was just so much encouragement and so much support. And then after he left, then Shirley Newsom came. And I tell you that we were probably the first team in DISD to travel out of state. We went to Florida and we played a game in Florida. And what I learned is that, like I said, I wasn't scheduling those games. Somebody else was scheduling those games because I didn't think you had to go out with Florida to play anybody that was good. There was a lot of good people here. But anyway, we went down there and we got our brains beat out again. And I had an official that tell me that he said that you're not going to win tonight. And I said, you don't know anything. You don't know anything about my football team. He said, don't matter. You could be the Dallas Cowboys. You're not going to win tonight. He said, what I need you to do, because you're a young man, I need you just to stand on the sideline, take it, and be cool. And when we went in at halftime, I told my coaching staff that let's put them on the bus and let's go back to the hotel. And Jimmy Corzine, he's sitting out there. He was one of my coaches. He looked at me and he said, tighten up. These people will fire your so-and-so if you embarrass DISD on national TV. So anyway, we played a game, we lose the game, and Miss Newsom walked up to me and she said, Bruce, kind of put her arms around me and she said, get your coaches and I want them to meet us in the bar. And I kind of looked at her like, oh, okay. And so the coaches, we all met down in the bar and she said, order yourself something, tell them to order themselves something to drink. And they ordered Sprite and Coke and Dr. Pepper. And Miss Newsom said, tell them to order themselves an adult beverage. So they did. And when we got back, those guys said, you know what? Shirley Newsom is the coolest principal that we've ever had. When Mac Brown called me and said that, offered me the job at Texas, I talked to Miss Newsom and Miss Newsom, as well as Coach James, and there was a large part of me that didn't want to go. I wanted to stay at Carter because I loved Carter High School. Miss Newsom looked at me, and if any of you all know Miss Newsom, with that look that she can look and kind of look over the top of those glasses, and she said, Bruce, you got to take this. She said, I'll help you write your resignation. Oh my goodness. But anyway, thank you, Miss Newsom, so much. Thank you, Mr. Brew. I've got a brother out there that's a twin brother, and he and I have obviously being twins. We've been together forever, and he's probably my #1 fan beside my wife, and I love him so much. Thank you so much, brother, for being here and all of your support over the years. And we are identical, so there were times and I had to be someplace and I couldn't be there. He would go and stand in for me. As a coach, I always wanted to positively affect the lives of young people. And not just as a coach, but as a teacher, because I always believe that coaches are great teachers. I always said, if you show me a great coach, I'll show you a great teacher. And coaches, obviously, their classrooms were the basketball court and the football field and the baseball field, but being able to communicate with kids and get your point across to kids, being a kid magnet where kids wanted to just hang out with you, ask you for advice. I mean, I haven't coached football now in 11, 12 years, but I still have players to call and ask for advice. And all I've ever wanted to do is what I saw Coach James model in front of me, and it's just help somebody along the way. I believe that we are put on this earth for a reason, and we all have a calling. And my calling, obviously, was to help kids. I thank you so much. This is such an honor for me and a privilege. I will cherish it for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Next up is Ralph Guldahl, a 1930 graduate of Woodrow Wilson High School. He began caddying at Lakewood Country Club to regain strength after a serious illness. In 1929, he won the Dallas City Championship and helped lead Woodrow Wilson to a state championship. He skipped his high school graduation to play in the Texas Open, finishing 11th and using his prize money to turn professional. He went on to win back-to-back U.S. Opens in 1937 and 1938 and captured the Masters title in 1939. He competed in 184 PGA Tour events with 16 wins, 19 runner-up finishes, and 62 top 5 finishes. He represented the United States on the Ryder Cup teams in 1937 and 1939. He was inducted into the Texas Golf Hall of Fame in 1980, the World Golf Hall of Fame in 1981, and the Woodrow Wilson Hall of Fame in 1988. So on this Masters weekend, let's learn more about our Masters champion, Ralph Guldahl.
Ralph Guldahl graduated from Woodrow Wilson High School in 1930, but skipped the ceremony to play in the Texas Open. He finished 11th and turned pro after collecting his $87.50 winnings. He qualified for the 1933 U.S. Open, narrowly missing a 4-foot putt for the win in a playoff. After relocating to California, he qualified and tied for 8th in the 1936 U.S. Open and won several tournaments, including the Western Open, the Augusta Open, and the Miami Biltmore Open, while earning the Radix Trophy for the lowest scoring average. In 1937, Ralph finished second at the Masters, then won both the U.S. Open and Western Open, making him the first to hold both titles in the same year. He repeated his U.S. Open win in 1938 and claimed 3 consecutive Western Opens. Ralph won the Masters in 1939 and added 2 wins in 1940. Along with the PGA Championship semifinal finish. In 1948, he became head pro at Medina and later Braemar Country Club, retiring in 1978. He returned to the Masters from 1964 to 1973 and lived to be 101, passing away in 2012.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ralph's nephew, Walter Guldahl, to the stage.
Yes, they just stole my whole speech on the TV. But I want to say that some few things about Ralph. I didn't know him that well. He lived in California and me in Dallas, but I want to start with his parents. They came from Norway to Minnesota to Dallas and had 3 sons. He grew up about 2 miles from Woodrow Wilson High School. 2 blocks, I mean. And got introduced to golf by caddying at Lakewood and Tennyson Park. They were both golf courses within walking distance of their house. He also, my dad told me about he learned to play golf across from Woodrow Wilson High School was a few golf holes with sand greens, and that's where they learned, but the greens were so bad that they had broomsticks with a piece of carpet nailed to the end to smooth out the path to the golf holes when they putted. My dad did caddy for him when he played in that. Right after graduation, he played in Austin at the Texas State Open. Ralph had quite a career as a golf pro, like y'all heard. He won numerous tournaments, and after he quit the tour, he took a head pro job outside LA, Tarzana, California. He was also a consultant to the CCA, which was Country Clubs of America, a company that bought and ran golf courses. I'm sure if Ralph was here with us today, that he would thank everybody on the inducting committee, and he would also tell you what an honor it is to be in the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Up next, Dante Jones. Dante Jones is a 1983 graduate of Skyline High School, where he was an all-district selection for the Raiders his senior year. He was named District 10-5A Defensive Player of the Year as a senior, earned all area honors from both the Dallas Morning News and the Dallas Times-Herald. He played college football at the University of Oklahoma and helped the Sooners win 4 Big 8 conference championships. And he played in the Orange Bowl all 4 years and is a member of the 1985 National Championship team. As a senior, he served as team captain, named Big 8 Defensive Player of the Year, earned consensus All-American honors, and was voted the MVP of the 1987 Orange Bowl and finished 3rd in the voting for the Butkus Award. He was drafted in the 2nd round of the NFL Draft by the Chicago Bears and played 7 seasons with the Bears, and in 1993 ranked 2nd in the NFL with 189 tackles. He finished his career with the Denver Broncos in 1995. So let's hear from Dante Jones.
My first real team was the Oak Cliff Jets as far as football, and that was in 5th grade. That was a feeder school for soccer. Going to Skyline gave me a chance to make some new friends and also play for a team that probably needed me more than soccer did. We had great coaches all the way up, and they definitely put me in a position to make plays and to be seen. And I just took advantage of that. Coach Fritz was the main reason I went to Oklahoma. If he hadn't been there, I wouldn't have went to OU, but that's a decision I made, and I'm definitely happy I did.
How was your transition going from a Skyline Raider, right, to a OU Sooner?
Change from high school to college is definitely a big difference. You go from being the guy to just another guy. My whole class redshirted. Nobody played, but we stuck together, and then we became one of the best classes to ever come to OU. After that, we won 4 Big 8 championships, a national championship, like 4 Orange Bowls. You know, I never traveled outside of Texas much, you know, until I got to Oklahoma. So being able to travel, see different places, meet new people, and definitely was changed my life and for the better. I got the call from Chicago, and you know, talked to Coach Dicker, and everything was good. And like, this is a better situation anyway, because I can get a chance to learn from the best linebacker in the world, Mike Singletary. Chicago was the best place for me, and I definitely appreciate the Bears drafting me. I had that breakout year, like I had the tackle record, which is still a record today. Football is a tough game, especially at that level. You know, 'cause everybody's big, fast, and strong. 7 year I started in Chicago, and I started getting hurt. And then I went to Denver after that and got hurt again. And I just had my daughter. I watched her get born, but then that next week I had to go to Atlanta to have surgery. So I was like, nah, I think I'm ready to hang this up. You know, even though teams was still calling you on to play, I'm like, nah, I want to play. I'm good.
When you found out that you were going to be inducted into the Dallas ISD Athletic Hall of Fame, how did you react? What did you think?
I had to be cool. I couldn't just get up and start dancing and all that, so I just played it cool, but yeah. And once I hung up, I got up and did that. Danced, called my wife, called my kids. Wish I could have called my parents, but I couldn't because they both passed away, but I yelled to them, we made it. And so yeah, it was great. It was one of the best days of my life. You know, because like I said, just a kid from Oak Cliff, Texas, trying to make it, and I made it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dante Jones.
Let me find this. Here we go. Thank you. This is a big honor for a kid from Oak Cliff, Texas. An honor I would never have achieved without my village. My village begins with my parents, Franklin Jones and Vesta Jones. My dreams and aspirations were my parents' dreams and aspirations. If I could dream it, they would do everything in their power to help me achieve it. My parents invested in me with love, advice, and a strong work ethic. They instilled in me knowledge and love of self. Without all of this, I wouldn't be standing here today. Everything I accomplished was because of my parents. I would never have achieved this honor without them, and I wish they were here. I would like to thank my grandparents, Bunny and Grace Wilson, who taught me about love of family. I'd like to thank my sister, Shantae, my biggest cheerleader, historian. She saved every article I've ever been in. I want to thank Bobby and Richard Thompson, my parents' best friends and educators in the DISD. The Thompsons gave me my first membership to the Moreland Branch YMCA, starting my athletic journey. I'd like to thank Gloria Jones, my stepmother, for allowing my father to be hands-on. I want to thank my guys from Fortune Lane. We spent hours playing football and basketball on our street. Then we took our basketball skills to the YMCA. I'd like to thank Coach Gerald and Coach Ron, my basketball coaches at the YMCA, for teaching me real teamwork. I also like to thank the coaches on my first football team, the Oak Cliff Jets. Thanks to Joe Middleton for moving me to linebacker my last year with the Jets, starting my journey to where I am today. I'd also like to thank my coaches at Skyline High School for seeing my talent and putting me in a position to make plays. Thanks to Coach Gibbs from the University of Oklahoma for recruiting an undersized linebacker and listening to the North Mesquite head football coach. When the North Mesquite coach asked Coach Gibbs if he was recruiting that linebacker from Skyline, the Mesquite coach told Coach Gibbs he needed to. I have to thank Coach Switzer. When he came to my house, he told my parents, if Dante comes to the University of Oklahoma, we will take care of him and he'll graduate. I graduated, and to this day, if I need anything, I know I can call Coach Switzer. I want to thank the Chicago Bears for drafting me in 1988. But I'd also like to thank my wife, Pam, and my children, Caitlin and Lauren, for nominating me for this honor and for putting my sports portfolio together. Thanks to my brother-in-law, Kevin Malonson, for staying on me for the last 4 years about getting my information together. Because I've been procrastinating. and he made it happen. And I think every coach and every teammate who shared this journey with me, players are only as good as the players that surround them, unless you're Tim Brown. I played against Tim, and Tim played on a team with nobody there but him. And they beat us one year. This is a small part of my village. I wouldn't be here today without them. Vesta Jones and Frank Jones, thank you. We made it. Thank you.
Our next honoree is 1958 Sunset High School graduate Bill Melton, who got his start as a public address announcer in Dallas ISD. After graduating from the University of Texas in 1964, he began announcing Dallas ISD events in 1966. He announced track and field meets for more than a decade, called middle school and high school football games at PC Cobb Stadium for more than 10 years. He also announced games at Lowe's and Sprague stadiums. Became a nationally respected announcer, lending his voice to major events, including the 1996 Olympics, 3 Super Bowls, 32 Cotton Bowl Classics, 40 Texas Relays, and 32 UIL regional and state track and field meets. He served as the PA announcer for SMU football, basketball, and the Mustang Band for 40 years. He also announced for UNT football, basketball, and track and field. His voice was heard at events for the Dallas Cowboys, Texas Rangers, NCAA championships in basketball and track, FIFA World Cup Soccer, FIBA World Basketball Championships, and World Championship Tennis. Outside of sports, he served as Dallas County Treasurer for 25 years, retiring in 2002. Please direct your attention to the screens as we learn more about Bill Melton.
I went to Rosemont Elementary, W.E. Grinder Junior High School, and Sunset High School, the best of all. In my elementary school days, my principal was Ben A. Matthews, who just happened to be the public address announcer at the Cotton Bowl. Through the years, as I went back to the Cotton Bowl for other games, I started pitching my ear and thinking, I'd like to do what Mr. Matthews is doing, and I hope someday I can. And it came to pass. My real start came in 1966. I was called upon to announce track meets at PC Cobb Stadium, Lowe's Field, and Sprague Stadium. As I did these events, I became known in the Dallas area, was called upon to do the Dallas Invitational Track Meet, which we did. Sammy Walker, one of last year's honorees for this all, he threw, broke the record. I got to announce it, and our picture together appeared on the front page of the sports page of the Dallas News the very next day. Dallas Cowboys came to me and asked if I would like to join their organization as their pregame and halftime announcer at the Cotton Bowl. Well, suddenly I'm in Mr. Matthews' footsteps. It is truly a great honor as a product of Dallas Independent School District. It makes me proud.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Bill Melton.
Good evening. Thank you. First of all, to my fellow inductees tonight, congratulations. I am truly honored to be included in this class and ask that God spread His blessings on all of us. My sincere thanks to the Dallas Independent School District Athletic Department. Todd, thank you for this great award. My thanks to my nominator, inaugural Hall of Fame inductee Jerry Rome, and supporter, inaugural Hall of Fame inductee Michael Carter. My thanks to Sunset High School, where I began to learn life's lessons. And since we've seen the Sooners up here tonight, and to the University of Texas. My thanks also to my family and friends who have come tonight to be a part of this outstanding occasion. I thank all of you. When I was interviewed, I was asked repeatedly, "What is your favorite moment in sports?" And I asked, "Can I save that for the induction ceremony?" And so I boiled it down, hopefully, to a short version. In 1995, I was selected to be the announcer at the Atlanta Olympic Games for men's and women's soccer, doing the semifinals, third place matches, finals, and award ceremonies. There begins my moment. August 1st, 1996, Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia, the home stadium of the University of Georgia Bulldogs, where the games had to be moved because there was not a stadium large enough in Atlanta for the expected crowds for the soccer events. August 1st was the night of the first ever gold medal finals between women in the Olympics. And it just happened to pair in the centennial year of the Olympics, the United States women against the Chinese women. Oh, what a game. The United States was led by Mia Hamm. The first half was back and forth. At halftime, the score was tied 1-1. The crowd that night, 76,840. The then largest crowd ever to witness a women's sporting event anywhere in the world. And I'm proud I got to be part of it. But at halftime, with the score tied 1-1, the American audience was a little bit down. They had dominated throughout the tournament. Well, part of our group included a sound man, and he picked just the right note. Suddenly, the tunes of YMCA blared out, and the audience got into the mood. You know what I mean. And there was a new level of excitement all over that place. When it finished, I thought, it's going to be a great second half. And then our sound man pulled the top of the chart. Remember, this is the summer of 1996, August. And it was just earlier that summer that a new tune had arrived from the South. It was called the Macarena. And they all stood on their feet and started singing and doing all the gestures that went with it. By the time the teams came back on the field, that crowd was electrified. And the United States team could feel it. Yes, the Chinese were strong. But in the 68th minute of play, Tiffany Milbritt of the United States found the back of the net, and the score, United States 2, China 1, held up through the 90th minute of play, and the United States women won the first ever Olympic gold medal. But then the best moment of all, one that I could only dream about as an announcer. The award-giving ceremony was so special because of the event that Juan Antonio Samaranch, the longtime venerable executive of the International Olympic Committee, came to Athens. And as I called the American women's names, he placed the gold medal around their neck. And they jumped up and down. They were cheerful. They were excited. And when he concluded, then I got to say those magic words. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of gold medal winner and the Olympic champion, the United States of America. And Old Glory rose to the top. That is my moment. Thank you for this great award. Good night.
Our next honoree is James Mitchell. Who coached girls athletics at James Madison High School for more than 30 years. He coached multiple sports, but was best known for his success as head coach of the track and field program. He led Madison to its first ever state championship in 1992 with just 5 standout athletes: Monica Davenport, Stacy Milligan, DeWanna Allen, Monica Spearman, and Dakisha Neal. He also guided the cross-country team to back-to-back district championships with several top 10 regional finishers and state qualifiers. Known not just for athletic excellence, but for his commitment to academics, many of his student athletes graduated as valedictorian, salutatorian, or ranked in the top 5 of their class. A true leader and mentor who shaped both champions and scholars at the great James Madison High School. Please turn your attention to the screens to learn more about James Mitchell.
James Mitchell was a teacher and coach at James Madison High School for over 30 years, known as Coach Mitchell. He coached girls' athletics, including track and field, cross country, volleyball, while assisting with basketball. His athletes excelled both academically and athletically, with several graduating at the top of their class. He developed district, regional, and state champions in track and field, including a UIL state championship in 1992 with a team of 5 girls, which was a first for Madison. In cross country, he won back-to-back district titles with 2 athletes qualifying for state in 1990. His volleyball teams won 2 district championships, and he coached 1 Dallas Morning News Athlete of the Year and a 6-time NCAA Division I All-American. James graduated from Thornton High School in 1959, earned a degree from Wiley College, and completed a master's in secondary education at Southern Methodist University in 1974. James retired from Dallas ISD in 1995 and died in 2015 at the age of 76.
We are joined tonight by James's daughter, Nikki Mitchell, who will accept her father's Hall of Fame jacket, ring, and commemorative crystal.
Good evening, everyone. Wow, my goodness. My name is Steve Harvey. I am the proud son-in-law of Coach Mitchell, who happened to marry the beautiful Nikki Mitchell. Married to 50 plus years to his beautiful wife, Ruth Mitchell. Yeah. And his only granddaughter, Alessandra. We're also joined by lots of friends and family, as well as those world-famous Lady Trojans that earned that state championship. I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna try to give you the essence of Coach Mitchell, as I got to know him very well. If I wanted to court his daughter, I had to get to know him very well. Coach Mitchell was a powerful man, a phenomenal man. Most importantly, he was an educator. I like that word, educator. And he didn't mind educating in the classroom, outside of the classroom, to friends, to strangers. He was a phenomenal man. We're rewarding him for his coaching abilities, but he could very well get the Hall of Fame for his educational skills. As you heard, how many were scholars under his tutelage. But as a coach, Coach Mitchell did not play around. You know, coaching back in the 70s was different. I said coaching in the 70s was different. Some of y'all was doing it. You know, there wasn't a big salary and a big stipend and air-conditioned buses and vans and things like that. Many times you had to use your own car or your neighbor's car. Many times you had to use your own money. Many times you had to forsake your family to make sure that the team got to where they needed to go. But he was a phenomenal coach, an amazing coach. And you know, during the 70s, sometimes the away tournaments and games and track meets was a little, unsafe when you looked like Mr. Mitchell. But Mr. Mitchell didn't bother that any mind at all. I saw some old throwback pictures of Mr. Mitchell where he had the hat and he had the afro and he had the black leather jacket. Mr. Mitchell had a little shaft in him. I said, Mr. Mitchell had a little shaft in him. And just like Mr. Mitchell, and just like Shaft, Mr. Mitchell was a bad mother. He was. So real quickly, I'm just going to give you the essence of what this great man meant to us and meant to the family, meant to the community, and more importantly, to DISD. A little feedback I would love, if you don't mind. Could you give me a C? He was very caring and very compassionate. You know, today people will say things like, well, if you don't care, why should I care? Or I can only care as much as you care. But that is not how Coach Mitchell cared. He cared whether you cared or not. He coached whether you believed in yourself or not. As a matter of fact, he believed in you more than you believed in yourself. And that's how he achieved so much greatness out of that. Someone say, oh. Outstanding guidance. Outstanding guidance. Not only would he say it, but he would say why you're going to do it. He would show you how to do it, and then he would stand there and make sure that it got done. And his awards was proof of that. Someone say A. That's straight A's, achievement inside the classroom and outside the classroom. Achievement. That's what his essence was. He was for real about what he taught. He was for real about what he coached. Someone say C. He was cold-blooded. Mr. Mitchell was a cold man, and he was consistently cold. See, it's okay to have one good year or one good season, but when you coach for over 30 years and you have consistent greatness, that's amazing. That's amazing. He was consistently great. You know, I was an athlete in the 80s. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it. Yeah, I was an athlete in the 80s. And you know what? I was pretty cold in Garland. And at district, I was clowning. But there's something called regionals that happen when you have to cross over that bridge and come across the Trinity, and you have to come against ISD students and coaches and athletes. It hit different. Yes, sir. Word of advice, don't bring your boo when you're running against ISD. It's not going to end very well for you. And the last letter in coach, someone say H. He was hard, but he meant what he said. He was strong about what he said, and he demanded greatness. As I've been sitting over there with my family, I had just been inhaling the air, all of this greatness that I'm amongst. I'm glad my 13-year-old daughter can see this. This is greatness. We're amongst giants. You know, that beautiful jacket right there, I wish I could buy one, but they don't sell those. You have to earn that. Yeah. I wish I could put that on. You see who's wearing it. But I don't qualify. But it's something around when you're around greatness and you get to be around greatness and you get to hear what they say and what they do and get to see it. It's amazing. It's amazing. On behalf of the Mitchell family, on behalf of this powerful man, James Mitchell, oh my goodness, he's watching us right now. He's next to the greatest coach there is. He's next to the Hall of Famer of all Hall of Famers. That's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Mr. Mitchell, you did it. We are very proud of everything that you've done during this lifetime, and we can't wait to see you again, sir. Thank you, guys.
Our next honoree is Donna Ramsey, a 1971 graduate of W.T. White High School, was a trailblazer in the field of sports medicine, one of the first female athletic trainers in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. In 1978, she became the first full-time female athletic trainer at the secondary school level in the United States when hired by Dallas ISD. She served the district as a central athletic trainer at Cobb Fieldhouse and later at Lowe's Fieldhouse. She treated and mentored countless student athletes, many of whom went on to compete in college, professional sports, and even win Olympic medals. Known for her unwavering dedication to Dallas ISD, her students, and her peers. And whether in the training room or on the sidelines, her student athletes always came first. A respected mentor and role model whose legacy continues to inspire in the field of sports medicine. Please turn your attention to the screens so we can learn more about Donna Ramsey.
I knew I had been put on a path because I love sports medicine, I love athletics. I went to a private school that focused on academics and athletics, and I love my medicine. And then all of a sudden my dad got transferred and we went to Dallas, and I went to W.T. White High School. Then when I graduated in 1971, I went to North Texas State University and began playing volleyball with them. And on my second year at playing volleyball, I needed to see the athletic trainer, and they weren't sending athletic trainers with the women's teams at all. And so the head trainer asked me, he said, "Donna, are you interested in becoming a licensed athletic trainer?" And I'm like, that's sports and that's medicine together, and that's my path that came back to me again in college, and it just carried on. Well, there was a lot of severe injuries, especially during football, and you know, I love the emergent part of it. You know, I thought at one time about going into physical therapy. I'm like, I love the emergent part. So I like to run, I wanted to be the first one, I want to help someone. But it's so rewarding. It's just, when you heal somebody, it's just the best thing that you could ever do. You know, it's time to get a job now that you're through with college, so I went to Dallas ISD and applied, and fortunately they wanted to give females a chance. And then the head athletic trainer, his name was Eddie Lane, and he told me at that point I was the first female, I think full-time at the secondary level are the two key words in the United States. And I was like, really, you know? Okay, I'm still just loving what I do. I stayed at Lowe Stadium, my office was there, and I did rehab. I went to work at 1, and I did rehab till 5, and then covered whatever games happened there. There was volleyball inside, basketball, soccer outside, football outside, baseball. I loved it. You know, I finally had still on my path, and I was at a big school district, and I'm working with every sport possible, and it just meant the world to me. I don't have a regret one. You know, for 30 years with Dallas ISD, not one. Well, I've done my 30 years, and traffic was getting really bad, so I said, I'm gonna go ahead and retire. And then I did, and I'm like, I miss this. So I went and met with Texas Health Sports Medicine, contracted with them, which led me up to North Central Texas College in Gainesville. And so I was their athletic trainer for another 14 years. I was shocked. You know, it's been a while since I retired. Corey Eaton, who took my place at Lowe's Field, he called me, and he was with Todd and said, hey Don, we'd like to have you inducted into the Hall of Fame. And I was speechless. I'm like, yes, sir. You know, what an honor. It's overwhelming, but I love it, and I'm so grateful that this is going to happen in my lifetime.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Donna Ramsey.
Well, I'm not good at this either, but first of all, I have to give thanks to the Lord for putting me on my path at such an early age and continue to open the doors to keep this on me on my incredible path. When I asked the guests about some specific details about them, they all said, this isn't about me, it's all about you. But I wouldn't be where I am today without their love and support, so I'd like to introduce you to my guest. Tonight, I've invited the people that have always been by my side through my career, my friends of over 30 years, one of my student athletic trainers, one of my coaches, my orthopedic surgeons, and my extended family. My friends, Beverly, Anna, Gary, and Kelly. To my friend Beverly, who listened to all of my stories about the injuries I saw day to day, year after year. To Anna, who's a photographer and assistant editor at UNT, who put my story in the newspaper almost 23 years ago, and now in the North Texan magazine, continuing to let everyone know the importance of breaking barriers for women. To Gary, my friend who was an ER nurse who allowed me to pick his brain for things other than orthopedic issues. To Kelly Fry, whose father, Hayden Fry, opened the doors for women in athletic training at North Texas State University by allowing me to be the first female athletic trainer. Kelly and I have been friends since college as I watched him play football and continue to be very close friends. My student athletic trainer, Greg Gaither, who attended Thomas Jefferson High School. I recognized immediately that Greg had the same passion for sports medicine as I did, and I knew I wanted him to help stay on his path. His path has led him to be the assistant athletic trainer for the Dallas Cowboys for the last 24 years, and I'm more than proud of him to acknowledge his accomplishments. Coach Joel Evans, who is the head football coach at W.T. White for the last 2 years that I worked for Dallas ISD. Joel trusted me and never questioned me regarding any injuries that one of his players might have. He just allowed me to do my job and get them back on the field. He's an incredible man, and we continue to be very close friends today. My orthopedic surgeons, Dr. Jim Montgomery, who started the program finding the best orthopedic surgeons to support our DISD athletic trainers and athletes. Dr. Scott Pascal, who covered all of the varsity football games at Sprague Stadium, was supposed to be with us tonight, but had to have surgery and is still being hospitalized, so my prayers go to you, Scott. Dr. Corey Payne, who was on the sidelines with me for every varsity football game at Lowe Stadium. We had our share of significant injuries, and I was blessed to have him with me and to be able to learn from him. He is an amazing man and was always there for me and still is. Thank you, Corey. And now to my extended family, who is just like my family, the athletic training staff of DISD. Greg, Corey, Doug, Brian, and Ryan. We have been friends since the very first day we met. We've laughed together, learned together, and now we get a chance to grow a little older together. A special thank you to Corey Eaton for my nomination to the Dallas ISD Hall of Fame. I wouldn't be here without him. Corey took my place at Lowe Stadium after my 30 years there and put my picture up with a beautiful quote underneath. I love it, and my only request is that he let people know that I only retired and I'm very much alive. We will always be family, and I'm so grateful they were able to share this honor with me. This is such a prestigious award, and I'm still trying to grasp the significance of it. It's hard to accept this honor when all I was doing was having so much fun on my path with the greatest kids, parents, and coaches. Thank you, Dallas ISD, for taking the chance to hire the first female athletic trainer and for this honor. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Charlie Shepard, a 1951 graduate of Crozier Technical High School, where he starred as a running back. He went on to the University of North Texas, earning 4 varsity letters, serving as team captain, and being named All Gulf Coast Conference his senior year. He was drafted into the NFL by the Baltimore Colts and later played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Found his true stride in the Canadian Football League with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. He transitioned to punter, where his powerful leg helped lead the Blue Bombers to 4 Grey Cup championships. Remembered for his resilience, adaptability, and championship pedigree, both in the United States and Canada. Please turn your attention to the screens to learn a little more about Charlie Shepard.
Charlie Shepard was a member of the football team while attending Crozier Technical High School in downtown Dallas. After graduating in 1951, he attended North Texas State University. While at North Texas, Shepard was a team captain and an All-Gulf Coast Conference selection. The running back was drafted by the Baltimore Colts in 1955, and he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1956, rushing for 91 yards in 12 games. Charlie later found success in the Canadian Football League as a punter. He signed with the CFL's Winnipeg Blue Bombers, where he played for 6 seasons. He was the Winnipeg's leading punter from 1957 to 1962, set the league record for the longest punt of 95 yards, and was named the most valuable player of the Grey Cup championship game in 1959. That season, he rushed for 1,076 of his 3,768 career yards. Charlie never averaged less than 43.1 yards per punt in a season. Shepard played for the Grey Cup championship 5 times, and his team won 4 championships. Charlie Shepard passed away in 2009 at the age of 75.
We are joined tonight by Charlie's sons, Shane and Robert Shepard, who will accept their father's Hall of Fame jacket, ring, and commemorative crystal. Also joining them on the stage is their aunt, Charlie's sister, Maxine Bookout.
Well, thank y'all very much. Robert is the oldest son. I'm the youngest, so I got nominated to do this. My brother Brett, sister Shonda, my aunt Maxine out there, my dad the bodyguard. She fought many battles for Dad. Dad was very grateful for his sister. You know, Dad had an outstanding career, but he was very humble. people would always want to bring up, tell us about this. Tell us about the Fog Bowl. Tell us about this. And Dad was very humble. He's like, that's ancient history. Just for example, whether or not this is true or not, I've heard it all my life, so I count it as true. Dad said when he was playing for the Blue Bombers, it was the Fog Bowl. He said, son, I couldn't see my hand in front of me, but the ball hit me in the chest. I caught it. We won. I'm a hero. Works for me. So, there's tons of stories. But he was very humble. He was like, it's a team effort, never wanting to hog the glory. And one thing that I can say, Dad, when I was younger, we'd sit around and be watching football on Saturday and Sundays, and there's nothing wrong with this. But when the players would make a great play, they'd celebrate and dance. He'd be like, what the hell are they doing? That's what they get paid to do. Oh, he used to aggravate him. But he always wanted to be part of a team. And let me say this. If there was a Hall of Fame for fathers, he would be in that Hall of Fame. For all of us, we have another brother that's gone home to be with the Lord. But for all of us, Dad taught us how to walk like men, how to have a firm handshake, how to hold your head up high, and to make your word your bond. That's old school. And I wish that old school would come back. Oh, by the way, also, I forgot to tell you that I'm also a preacher, but when I told Todd that, Todd said, no gospel tonight. Well, but I think the gospel is already, no, he was kidding, but, when a preacher says I'm almost done, that means nothing, but I am. But I just want to tell you for all the Shepherd family, this is such a great honor for my dad, for the family. It's such a legacy that 70 plus years later, people are still talking about Charlie Shepherd. And he went from Charlie Shepherd, the kid from South Dallas, that actually had a wagon and a mule and sold watermelons on Saturday. For real, made a real good living doing that. To being Charlie Choo Choo Shepherd in the CFL. That's a legacy. And I can't, I should let this go, but I won't. On the video, it said that he set a record of 95 yards punt. True. He broke his own record, 98-yard punts. God bless you. Have a great night. Thank you for the honor.
Now, we will wrap up tonight's induction ceremony with 1985 Franklin D. Roosevelt High School salutatorian, Richmond Webb. He starred on the football field and continued his success at Texas A&M University, where he helped lead the Aggies to 4 consecutive bowl appearances. The Aggies won the Southwest Conference Championships in 1986 and 1987. As a senior, team captain, all-conference honoree, and recipient of the Aggie Hart Award. He was selected 9th overall by the Miami Dolphins in the 1990 NFL Draft, named NFL Rookie of the Year by the Sporting News, and selected to 7 consecutive Pro Bowls, and is a member of the NFL 1990s All-Decade Team. He protected Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Marino's blind side, setting a team record with 118 consecutive starts. He played 11 seasons with the Dolphins and finished his career with the Cincinnati Bengals. Honored with inductions into the Miami Dolphins Ring of Honor in 2006, the Texas A&M Athletics Hall of Fame in 2007, and the Texas Sports Hall of Fame in 2024. Let's hear more as you look at the screens from Richmond Webb.
One thing I didn't have to worry about was growing. I was always pretty much a head taller than most of the people in my class. I actually started my career at Oliver Wendell Holmes, and that's when I started playing organized football. And then finished up at the mighty Mustangs, Dallas Franklin D. Roosevelt High School.
You were pretty awesome in the classroom as well. You graduated as salutatorian?
I did. That's one thing about my parents. In order to play sports, we had to keep our grades up. I had a tremendous tribe with a lot of strong men and stuff that really poured into us and developed us into who we were. And I attribute a ton of my success to those guys there because that's the foundation of who I am. When I transitioned from high school to college, the biggest adjustment was when I went to Texas A&M, and I was always one of the tallest people at Roosevelt when I was there. And I get to A&M, and then the upperclassmen come in, and it's like 5 or 6 guys. It's no big deal no more. So it's like I really had to. It was an humbling experience, but I had to really work to get on the field and this and that. And I think that's why we had success. We won 3 Southwest Conference championships and went to the Cotton Bowl 3 years in a row. So the level of competition was pretty high, but it also helped push me to become a better player. I became team captain my senior year, and that was voted on by the players, so that meant a lot for, my teammates to vote me or think, they're highly of to make me a captain, so that was pretty cool. My phone rang, and so the phone was ringing, and so I picked it up, and I said, hello. He said, hey, Richmond, this is Don Shula. Are you ready to be a Dolphin? I said, yes, sir. And then I ended up being the 9th pick in the draft. So everything worked out well, but it wasn't easy. The effort is everything, and I had the right mindset. I got to do something that I never would have thought was just a dream as a kid, that I actually got to live it out. To even be considered with the amount of great players that played, it's an honor. I mean, I don't take it lightly. Anytime you make Hall of Fame, you're one of the best of the best. And so I'm overwhelmed.
All right, Richmond, it is your time to finally join us on stage. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Richmond Webb.
I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. I know y'all probably ready to go home. But first of all, I gotta thank God from whom all blessings flow. I wanna thank the ISD selection committee. I also wanna thank Mary Webb Spigner for nominating me for this award. I had to put that last name on. Her husband sitting over there, so I got to stay in good graces with my family. And I also want to congratulate my fellow inductees of the 2025 DISD Hall of Fame class. I have been fortunate to be honored and receive several different awards, but this one is truly special. It is because this is where it all started. This is what most people don't know. They see the finished product, but not the raw material. I always say that no one achieve success without help from someone along the way. I am grateful for that. I grew up with that being instilled in me at an early age. My parents would always say, treat people how you want to be treated. Be nice to people on your way up because you will meet the same people on your way down. I truly didn't understand as a child, but it makes perfect sense now. Luke 12, verse 48 says, for everyone to whom much is given, from much will be required. And to whom much has been committed, of him they will ask the more. To build a house, you must have a solid foundation. From my parents, my family, churches, schools I attended, principals, teachers, and also coaches, all have invested so much in me and my success that I now find myself returning the favor. This is not just for me, but for all who have helped me along the way. I'm blessed to have some of them here to celebrate with me tonight. And I'll mention Ms. Clemens. She's like the mother at Roosevelt High School, and her daughter's here with her and her niece, Bet. Ms. Clemens was a mother to everybody, and not just for when I was there, but she probably served 30 years. I can't get that, but she was like a mother to us all, and I always tell her daughter, thank you for sharing your mom with us. And then one of my coaches was supposed to be here tonight, but he's up in age and recovering from a little deal, but his son, Kendall Miller, is here with his wife. I want to thank them for coming, and it's just, you can't forget people when they've been good to you and helped you along the way. So I wanted to mention those two. And then one of my classmates since Roger Q. Mills, O.W. Holmes, Roosevelt High School, Texas A&M, and he went on to play with the Raiders. And I went to Miami, but Aaron Wallace, he's here too. So, you know, we've been together for a long time. So it was good to see him tonight as well. I'll finish by saying this. I'm blessed to have some of them here to celebrate with me tonight. We gladly accept this award. Thank you, and God bless you.
Let's hear it one more time for the 10 individuals who make up the district's 7th Athletic Hall of Fame class. At this time, I would like to invite Dallas ISD Assistant Superintendent for Athletics, Vince Reyes, to the stage. And as he makes his way to the stage, I just have to say I am incredibly honored to be here tonight. From T.D. Marshall to Claire Oliver to O.W. Holmes to Business Magnet, that was my path in Dallas ISD to get where I am today. And this makes me as proud as could possibly be to be a part of this evening tonight. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Donovan Lewis. What a great job. Let's give Donovan Lewis a great round of applause. What a great MC tonight. I'd also like to thank Ms. Shirley Ison Newsom for helping me become the leader I am in Dallas ISD. Really appreciate that. When we first started working together, I had short hair and it was black, and now it's long and gray. And I owe that to my pretty lady, my wife. Thank you for being here, Donna. And I also want to recognize Trustee Luke Blackburn was here earlier. There he is, sir. Thank you so much. Also learned a lot, sir. Thank you. All right, what a night. What a great night we had tonight. Let's give our inductees another round of applause. A few additional thank yous. You can't even begin to say thank you to our Board of Trustees and the amount of support they provide to our athletic department. So trustees, thank you so much, and thank you for the work that you do for our communities and for our kids. I'd like to thank Dr. Brian Lusk, our Deputy Superintendent. thank you so much, sir, for all that you do in leading our district and being my boss, and he's a great boss to work for. Want to thank our athletic department staff that are here tonight and work tirelessly to support our coaches and support our kids, work with our schools. We have an outstanding group of assistant athletic directors. Can't get anything done without those folks. They do such a great job. They greeted you at the sign-in and just continue to do good work. Several of them are at events tonight. We have various volleyball and baseball and other things where they're out covering those events tonight. I personally want to thank and recognize Assistant Athletic Director Todd Lamb. Todd, if you'll stand up. Todd is responsible for everything that has happened tonight. He starts the process from the beginning and sees it through to the final pictures that we'll all take here in a little bit. Todd, you did a heck of a job, sir. Thank you very much. I heard your name mentioned a bunch by the inductees, so that looks good. That looks real good. I also want to thank Eric Nickerson for his help. Eric is somewhere probably running around, and so we thank him for his help. We want to thank Carmen Alvarado Vasquez and her entire DSTV crew, and of course our communication services team that just does a heck of a job helping us get all of this together. I'd also like to recognize our athletic coordinators that are here tonight. If you're an athletic coordinator currently at one of our high schools, will you please stand up? Thank you. Thank you for leading our coaches and leading the work that you do. Wow. What an honor to participate in this celebration with the inductees tonight. What a model of excellence. We tell our coaches that in Dallas ISD we play big. We tell our coaches that in Dallas ISD we play for rings. And I tell you what, all of that would not be possible without the legacy and the stories and the giants that you heard from tonight. So thank you for that. We're trying to catch up to some of the great things that you've done. And we hope that in 10, 15, 20 years, some of the young men and young women that are competing in our schools right now, that are out, like I said, out on the fields and the tracks and the courts right now, that they'll be up here and will be able to live up to the standard that our inductees have set. What an amazing group. What amazing stories. Thank you so much. All right. One last round of applause for our inductees. Lauren Blackburn, Jared Brodnex, Bruce Chambers, Rob Goodall, Dante Jones, Bill Melton, James Mitchell, Donna Ramsey, Charlie Shepard, and Richmond Webb. OU, Texas, A&M, UNT, pretty darn good. All right, just a few housekeeping items before we adjourn. If you know of someone that is deserving of this honor, our nominations for next year's class will open May 1st. They'll be on the Dallas ISD Athletic Hall of Fame website. So if you know of anyone that is deserving of this honor, please get on that website and begin the nomination process. Todd Lamb, who runs this for us, will be available for questions, comments, support, and getting through that process as well. Finally, we would like to take a group picture of tonight's induction class. If those individuals would please come to the stage as soon as we're done here, we'll get started. We'll take some pictures of everybody together, and we'll get everybody out of here. We'll also follow the same order of our inductions, alphabetical by last name when we line everybody up. With that, our night is complete. I want to thank everybody, and we'll see you next year. And remember, Dallas ISD.